it's Aiyana again. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, or welcome if you're new. Normally I post sort of soothing, stress relief, calming videos. I do stimming, ASMR, coloring, vintage gaming, reading, just all sorts of things. But today I'm actually doing an unboxing of a fidget toy set that my partner actually gifted me. Ordinarily, I get my Stim tools or my Stim toys. Some people use those interchangeably. Normally, I get them from Stimtastic, which was an autistic-owned shop that made Stim tools and Stim toys for neurodivergent people. But they recently closed down, and I was a little sad about that, so he ordered me this box. I will post at the end links to alternatives to Stimtastic that are still open, that are neurodivergent owned, made for neurodivergent people, rather than some big corporation like Amazon. If I'm being honest, this box set did come from Amazon, but that's okay. I was a long time customer of Stimtastic, and honestly I would love to partner with them if they ever did go back into business, but they are not in business currently. Anyway, this is the box set I have. Apparently, let me turn this over. It's from Hhobby stars, and it has 61 fidget toys in it. It's approved for children 3 years and up. This is not, you know, a paid promotion or a product placement or anything like that. This was genuinely a gift that I got, but I just thought I would do an unboxing of it. It's actually quite large. I can't actually get all of it in the frame. Let's see. So, just the first impression. That's what we have right at the top. But I'm going to start taking things out. And at the end, not the links, but before that, I'm also going to show off some 3D printed Stim toys that my partner made for me. But let's get to the unboxing. Let's see. I don't want it to fall. So it looks like we have bead or jelly or foam of some kind. That can be fun. Actually, maybe I should take everything out of the package one by one. It is indeed a bead foam. Ooh, and they actually feel cold. That's actually quite nice if you like temperature, or I wouldn't say texture, but definitely temperature and, well, maybe a little bit of texture because it is soft, but it's very cold. I like that. I didn't expect them to feel like that, but anyway. Next, let's see. It looks like they've included these little spiky boys. It's nice for a touch or a texture stim. And the colors really pop, in my opinion. Aww. I quite like this. This is kind of like those little, you know, quote, worms you'll see, but it's a unicorn. I actually quite like that. This is another touch or texture. It's very soft. It's not rough at all. I would advise, it says it's for children 3 and up, but I can easily see these like little arms breaking off and being swallowed. I don't think it would cause choking, but I'm not a doctor or a product expert, so I have no idea. So I would advise not getting it for a child that young, just to be safe. But definitely an older child that knows better, you know, 8 to 10 or up, definitely. But it's very pleasing to the touch, very soft. You can just kind of stroke it like that. It almost reminds me of the motion of brushing hair, and I know some people quite like that. It's not stiff at all, oh, they're stuck together. It's not stiff at all like these. These are very, they're flexible, they're pliable, but they're also very hard, if that makes sense. These are very soft. There are actually 2 of them. I think there are only 2, there may be more. There's one in teal. I don't know if the colors vary. They probably do. But it honestly reminds me of brushing or braiding long hair. It feels very nice. So far we have 2 of these and 2 of these. And I, personal preference, like these over these, but they're both pretty fun. So let's see what other goodies we have. Oh. So this, it's patterned like a soccer ball, but the top and the bottom turn. So it's definitely a motion one, visual, touch, texture. It really hits everything, and you can hear it whirring as well. It really just hits all the bases, and it's a nice color. I do wish they'd done a better job with the paint though, and it's a little scuffed here. I just got it tonight, so it shouldn't look like that, but you know, you get what you pay for, especially coming from a corporation like Amazon, just because they don't have as much time and contact with clients on a personal basis the way small businesses do. It's just a fact. It's not a bias. Okay, let's see what else, because this is just packed full of stuff. So I didn't actually have any of these. I do have one of these in orange. It's a bit longer and skinnier, but basically what these are is there's a marble inside this mesh, and you push it back and forth. So I think, especially for a child that, or even, you know, a teen or adult that's having trouble concentrating, especially if they're listening to a presentation or taking notes or reading, that if they could just do this while they're doing that, I think it would help them focus. And it's also soothing. You know, there's a little motion in there. It's not just the side or the texture. They have one of these rings in here. This is not actually one of my favorites. Some people do like it because they like the pressure on your finger, or the way it stretches, or they like the hardness. This is not really one that I favor. I did previously purchase one from a brick and mortar Stim toy store at the local mall, but it's not bad. It doesn't look any worse than the one that I bought at the brick and mortar store, to be honest. It's very springy, very stretchy, has just the right amount of pressure without being tight or cutting off circulation. So, and it does also come undone if you're worried about someone getting stuck in it. See, right here? Okay. Oh, I love these. They're like, how do I explain it? If you've seen my video with the squishy rubber duck, they're not quite like that. They're a different material, so it's a bit of a texture stim, but they're also still soft and squishy. So let me just... I'm actually going to put it back in the bag after I'm done looking at it, because word to the wise, things can melt against this or stick to this very easily because of the material it's made of. I don't know if you can really see. I couldn't tell you what it was made of, what particular compound, but it almost feels a little sticky. It's squishy, as you can see, and it's almost a little sticky, but not quite. I can't explain the texture. And it's not because it came from Amazon. I got one from Stimtastic that was a white rabbit version of this, and a gray cat, and they felt the same way. It's just literally what the toy is, what it's supposed to do. You know, some people call them Stim tools, some people call it Stim toys. They're more or less interchangeable, but it's not like a toy in the sense of like a kid playing with a doll. It's, you know, to relieve anxiety, or to like safely exercise a compulsion, or you know, to ease PTSD symptoms, or to help someone with ADHD concentrate, or to like help an autistic person self-regulate. So they're not quite toys in the same sense. They're honestly, in my opinion, also as a neurodivergent and disabled person, they're honestly, from my point of view, an aid for the person, the same way that, you know, a mobility aid like a crutch or a hearing aid, or glasses, it's kind of like that. So this is the same as the red one, it's just a different color. It is a very snazzy shade of blue though, I quite like that. They have these little people in here. They kind of look like emoji people, like the little emoji that we normally see, but they have a body. They kind of look like a yellow emoji version of Mr. Meeseeks. There's not much to them. As you can see, they're not squishy like the rabbit. Their body doesn't just go in. There's not a lot of give. It's very firm. Even though they are a little squishy, it's not, as you can see, the same texture or firmness. So, not really my cup of tea, but, you know, there's something in here for everyone and someone may enjoy it. Oh, they're outright just emoji people. I don't even know how I feel about this. The Three Musketeers. Ooh. I have one of these. I actually have a short video posted in one of my 5-minute Stim videos. Mine is blue. So this is a key ring. And, well, you can use it like this, but it's not currently the way that it should be. Let me see. But yeah, as you can see, you know, I've been diagnosed 2 different times by 2 different professionals with OCD. You can see quite easily why someone with compulsions could use this to soothe themselves, and not act out on any negative compulsions, because some people unfortunately do not have as palatable or pretty compulsions like organization, and sometimes the compulsion's not very kind to their body or their mind. I'm not going to get into details because I don't, you know, want to put a lot of stressful content in this video, since it is just unboxing and me kind of fiddling with them, but that's what I'm going to say. There's this, oh, it's a little puzzle cube. That's what it is. So there should be an opening to this. Yes. So it's in a little clear plastic box. And, as you can see, it's a little maze. Little puzzle. Sounds like it's stuck inside. But yeah, whatever hole it comes out of, you just kind of boop it around until you get, you know, situated into another one. It kind of just disappeared on me. It's not falling out anywhere. There we go. Here it is. As you can see. Oop. That's what that does. It's actually quite interesting. I haven't used one of these before. I actually quite like it, to be honest. But just to make some room. And again, there are more of these. They're just kind of off screen because I pushed them to the side. Let's see what this fellow is. It's been almost 15 minutes and I am nowhere near finished with this video, so... I see. This fellow does a little... I actually have something a little like this, but not quite. What I have, you're meant to form it into different formations, different puzzle formations. This one, I believe you just twist around. let's see, what else do we have? Looks like a very tiny fidget spinner. I assume it's so small because the box is marketed for children as young as 3. Because, as you can tell, do I have my spinner out? Apologies. Let me get my spinner just so I can show the size comparison. So this is the spinner I already have that showed up in one of my previous videos, one of my 5-minute stimming videos. As you can see, there's a clear size difference. There's a clear intention to market this towards younger people. And I'm not saying, you know, anything for or against it. I certainly don't mind younger children also benefiting from stimming. I'm just saying that obviously this one is not going to fit into a 3-year-old's hand. That this one feasibly could be. I actually don't have a 3-year-old of my own, so I'm not quite sure what the ratio would be. But again, that's the size comparison, and this is my hand. So this is, obviously you know how a fidget spinner works if you're here. Or maybe you don't. I shouldn't make assumptions. But little one works the same way. This one just has, the weights are different. You can still do this in the middle if you'd like. I don't think most people realize that a lot of them come with 2 different kinds of stimming, but yeah. That's some good stuff. You can just, depending on the person, just zone out. Or you can do it as such. I think they actually had, did they have 2 in? Or did they have 1? They have 2. So they actually have 2 in here. So it comes with 2. I'm not sure if there's a set color or if they just randomize it. But there are 2 in there. Just like there were 2 of those and 2 of those and 2. They're pairing a lot of this stuff off. It's almost like the arc. For those of you who may not get that reference, it's, you know what, never mind. Never mind. I don't want to be the person to introduce that if that's not your life. Your family can do that. You can. Ooh. So I actually have a video about one of these as well. Mine's purple and a lot bigger. I call it a crinkle pipe, but the actual packaging on mine says it's a pop tube and that it's a product of Slinky, which I didn't know it was a product of Slinky. But for size comparison, this is mine. And it should be fairly obvious why. Again, this box is marketed to children as young as 3. And obviously it has to be small enough to fit in their hand. This is obviously meant for an adult hand. I mean, an adult could use either one, but mine's obviously meant for an adult. It's quite unwieldy for a younger child. For an older child, especially, you know, a preteen or a teen, yes, but not a young child. These, however, are quite, they're gonna fit the small hands. Oh, just love that. Just love that. And, you've probably noticed, but quite a few STEM tools, STEM toys, however you refer to them, some of them overlap with ASMR. Not all of them, obviously, but ones like this one, and feasibly the whir of a fidget spinner. But not all. So, I'm not sure if they intentionally left this out or if it was a boo-boo. Let me try to get it in. I don't want to break it. Well, they should all be interlocking. I'm not sure why that one was left out. Maybe for personal preference in case you wanted it that way. I don't want to break it, but these pop. I actually have one Again, I did have some of these, but I just didn't have others. So I think it's actually comparable in size to the one I have. Yeah, that's the same size. So this is the one I originally had. This is the one that came in the package. And again, they come in these snazzy colors. But mine that I had previously came from Stimtastic, as did my extra large pop tube. As did, I think I explained before, my 2 squishies of these. Did I leave anything out? Oh, this keychain, the one I had previously, the blue one, the blue band one, I got that from the same brick and mortar store that I got one of these from. And I'm not quite sure where I got my original fidget spinner, but yeah. So this one's not together, and I don't want to break it. I'm going to ask for help so I don't break it. But essentially, when it is together, you can bend it into a bunch of different shapes. But the special thing about this one is that it clicks and pops, which makes it different from this one. They also move in different ways. But as I said, this actually reminds me of this. Which does not come in the kit. This actually came from, I think it actually came from Toys R Us. It's marketed as a smart toy because there's a little booklet that comes with it that you can use with your kid to make it go into different puzzle shapes. Because as you can see, these are held together by string. And because of the indentations, they only move in certain ways. So you have to move it in certain ways to achieve the right shape. Like for instance, this can go this way, but it can't go that way. So you would have to maneuver it right, see? And again, nothing in this is a paper motion. This is just an unboxing. Shwoof. Okay, so I'm actually not quite sure what this, what you do with this. Oh! Looks like you push these in. And it looks like you can actually put your finger in right here. It's soft. Maybe for a texture or a touch stim. Not sure. And of course these do turn in place. Not sure if there's anything else you're meant to do with this. I will have to look it up. I've never actually had one of these, so I'm not quite sure what to do. I'll have to fiddle around with it some. Fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. Fiddling around is how you find things out. So they actually have these, they're meant to be puzzles on a keychain. So basically, you or your partner or your child, whoever you're getting this for, all of this comes apart and you can put the pieces back together. So they're literally little puzzles that make shapes. And, you know, I really think that, even though obviously an adult could do this, I really do think it would be good for a child's development to have them thinking in those terms, building things like that, helping with their spatial relations, their concept of, you know, area and volume, different things like that. Before they even really get into school, they can just start thinking about problem solving and things like that, and just help with their mental development. And again, the reason these are so small is because someone as young as 3 they're marketing to them, so it has to fit in their hand. There's probably an adult version somewhere, but that's why some of these things are so small. It's so that it fits in the hand. This is an outlier. It barely fits in my hand. Oh, this is so precious. So I used to have one of these when I was younger, but it was not this size. This is literally a baby Rubik's Cube, but mine was probably this size, if not a little bit bigger. But obviously it was this, not this, but it was this size, approximately, a little bit bigger. So I really don't want to mess it up. basically you're supposed to be able to turn it and solve the puzzle. I think they actually at one point had tournaments to see how quickly someone could do it. Couldn't be me. I never solved mine, but the one I had wasn't all perfect like this. It was already messed up. And I like never bothered trying to solve it. Probably would have helped if I actually tried. A lot of things help if you actually try. One of the things I was excited for in this box was the slinky, because there was supposed to be a slinky in there, and there is actually, and it's kind of cutesy, obviously, because they're marketing it to someone as young as 3, so that's why it's cutesy, and that's also why it's tiny. I'm not sure why it's lopsided. I'm a little upset about that. That's poor packaging. I'm not gonna say it's the creation, I'm pretty sure it's the packaging, but it still does what a slinky does. So I'm not sure if that can be fixed. I don't really like that that happened, but it's definitely the way it was packaged and things that were laying on it, so you know, who knows, maybe it can be fixed, maybe not. If not, I can just go get a big one. I'm not sure what this is. Oh. Is this slime or something? Let me see. I actually don't know. This may be, I think this actually opens. I think this is like slime or something. I'm actually gonna put it back in the packaging. Well, back in some packaging. Just because I don't wanna open slime unintentionally and make a mess. So I'm just gonna lay it on these little foam packets over here. It's gotta go somewhere. Sorry, I should have showed you what I'm opening. This is another one of those things that's definitely, obviously you could use it as an adult, but it's definitely marketed directly toward children, because it looks like it's meant to be one of those smart toys, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that's what it's meant to be. Yeah, I think so. I think it's meant to be a smart toy. The same way that these 3 are. And I guess technically this one. So these 3, that, and this. Let's see. Just lay that there. What else is in here? What's inside of you? Ooh, I remember this. So there are little peas inside, and they have a little, well, one of them has a little face. Okay, only one of them has a face, I guess. Only one of them has a face. Why? Only one has a face. I don't think it got messed up. I just think that they only painted one. But basically you just push the peas out of the pod. That's what you do with this, and it's on a cute little keychain so that you can kind of take it on the go. Stimtastic actually sold a version of this. I never bought theirs. I think theirs was actually, sorry, I think theirs was actually a little bit bigger. I feel like it was bigger. And theirs may have been a different texture. And there may have been a different, what's the word? Mechanism for making it work. But yeah, there's only a face on one of them. It kind of looks like a puppy, almost. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just me. They have a little packet of water beads. Obviously, I'm not going to open that, but yeah, they have a little packet of water beads. They also, yes, there's more. There's more, which is frankly hilarious. It is so chock full of things. This little football here is just a stress ball. Whoa, oopsie. Just a stress ball. It's a little big for a smaller child's hand, As you can see, it fits snugly into mine. So definitely preteen, teen, and adult, it would fit better. Nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned stress ball. I mean, basically what's on the tin, it's very self-explanatory. You squeeze it, that's it. So this is what's going on here. It's filled with like jelly or fluid, and you just kind of squish it around. There are like little, I think, beads inside, maybe? Yeah, there are little beads inside. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure that either you can see them or me holding it up any further is not going to help you see. So I'm going to move on because there's actually still quite a lot in this box. Believe it or not, it did say 61. Oops. So there was a little piece that, it had a little hand loopy, so you can wear it on your wrist. I kind of just dropped that on the floor. But it has this on top. That's pretty standard on a lot of Stim tools or Stim toys. These move around, which I think is kind of nice. They all do that, and they have different colors. I don't think it does anything else, but honestly, this is soothing enough. Especially since you get, like, obviously a touch, a little bit of a texture, there's sound, there's a visual. So, I think it's worth it. This is where the little loopy goes. Let me bend down and get it. So, my little loopy fell out, but basically you put this part here, and then they can wear it around their little wrist. I actually have really small wrists, so it still fits around my wrist, but I guess depending on the size of the adult hand, it may not. But, I mean, that's okay. They market it, a lot of this box is marketed younger. I would just say use your best discretion. I mean, it's your family, you know their interests, and presumably they can express them in some way. Even if they can't verbalize, they can sign, or if they can't sign, it's very obvious very quickly if they like it, because they're either going to use it or they're going to express displeasure and potentially have a meltdown, which is understandable if they're frustrated because someone's giving them a toy or a tool that they can't use. So yeah, but yeah, it fits around their little hands, so you don't even have to, you know, a lot of these have little keychains. Oops, my bad. A lot of these have little keychain attachments. This has a little attachment so that it makes it harder to lose because they can wear it. So, I don't even know where to set this. I'm trying to keep most of this in view, so it's making it a little difficult over here, to be quite honest. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. I'm still getting most of it in the shot, which is good. So this is, let's see. Oh, it's kind of like the little baton I have, or like a lava lamp almost. Yeah, this one's purely visual, but I mean, there are neurotypical adults who would like zone out watching this, just bliss out. And there's like nothing wrong with that, especially if you're trying to like calm someone if they've had a sensory overload, or they're having burnout or a meltdown, or they're just having a bad day, their anxiety's acting up, something, you know? It's just very soothing if you can get them to watch it. Pretty. Reminds me of an hourglass too. I have something similar. Let me get it. So what I have is actually from Stimtastic, because of course it is. So this is what I originally had. And it's pretty much just like those glitter batons. And you would watch it go to the other side. And they actually come with these O-rings to, I'm pretty sure it's to like stabilize the pressure or something so it stays in one place. But yeah, it's like full of glitter. I'm getting so many messages right now that I'm not going to be answering because I'm busy. But yes, that is quite different from, well, yeah, I'll go with quite different. It's quite different from mine because, again, this one's kind of like an hourglass almost, or a lava lamp. Maybe if they decided they wanted a Mr. and Mrs. Lava Lamp Hourglass. So here's this. This was in there as well. I took it out of this. I'm not sure if the camera caught that, but this is what it does. It makes like a kind of clanking, clicking sound when you turn it. So obviously you're getting an auditory stim, potentially ASMR, depending on if you like that sound, and it evokes, you know, a tingle. But definitely a stim. Potentially a texture because it's very smooth, and obviously physical. I actually have one of these, but I did not get it at a store. My partner 3D printed one for me. So this is my pre-existing one. And this is the one that was gifted to me recently. As you can see, I mean, they're... Let me put that one down. They do the same thing. And this still makes the little not quite click when you turn it around. Sound is different because the texture is different. I don't know if you can tell on the 3D printed one, because this one is very smooth, almost, I don't want to say matte, but almost matte. This one is rougher in texture because it's made from filament. I don't know if you can see that. This one's a little rough around the edges, but it gets the job done, and for all intents and purposes it was free. See? Those are the hinges. Here are their hinges. So, I mean, and it's more or less the same size. Little unwieldy for a smaller child's hand, but certainly something that they could grasp in concept, and not something that, well, I was gonna say that wouldn't give them that much trouble. But, I mean, every kid's different, and it doesn't mean anything if they do have trouble, because every kid's different. It doesn't mean anything bad. Oh, there was another water bead packet. There are these, like, I don't even know, flat chicken things. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw it, oh, this has a weird texture, doesn't it? You almost have to, like, peel it. Look at this. When I first saw it, I thought it was a, what's the word? A Scraggy from Pokemon. That's what I thought it was. So, but it's supposed to be like a chicken or something, I think. I mean, you tell me. I don't even know what's going on with this. Is it supposed to open up? Is it supposed to stay closed? I don't really know. Its body is, it's doing its own thing. I wonder if it, because it's that weird, it's not the same as this, but it's not the same as this, but it's a kind of weird texture. I wonder if it, like, melted on the way here, or if that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm gonna put it back in the pack just to make sure that it doesn't melt on anything, because I don't want that to happen again. There are 3 of these. I think that was all of the chickens. I'm pretty sure that was all of the chickens. I'm just gonna put them, like, way up here in the corner. So we're almost at the end of the box. almost. We have 2 more things. So we have 2 more things to look at, but there's the empty box. So I'm just gonna put that aside. Oh, that's helpful. So it does include, I'm sure this is for liability purposes, but it does include a warning for a choking hazard. So it actually goes through everything that's supposed to be in here. And the things in the pictures have different colors, so I'm pretty sure the colors are randomized. But yeah, it's just warning you not to give it to children under 3, obviously, because it's 3+. And as I said, you know, use your best judgment for your own child, but also heed the product warning. You don't want to make a mistake that would hurt someone you care about. So again, read labels, use good judgment. But yeah, it says, I don't know if you can see that because it's tiny, too tiny. Perfect for anxiety, focus, ADHD, ADD. They just put autism with like the implied trademark symbol autism. But autistic folks, OCD, quitting bad habits. So like those in my mind kind of like tie together. If you have maladaptive compulsions, or other maladaptive coping mechanisms that you might want to quit for your health. Let's put it that way, because I want to keep this family friendly. It also says it can help relieve stress, but yeah, that's what these are for. Yeah, so it says user manual, but they don't actually tell you anything. They don't actually tell you anything except what's supposed to be in it. Anyway, they have these little wormy guys. So these don't actually have like a face on them. I've seen some that like legit have little like faces and ears and paws. This one's just plain, but you know, I would still call it a worm or a snake. But they're an interesting texture. They're stretchy. You can like tie them gently into knots and it won't break. That doesn't mean tie it as tight as you can. As you can see, this is loose and it just pulls right apart. But they stretch. Interesting texture. And that's really... These are one of the more simple things that you can get. I actually have a really thick, really big purple one that I had from before. I'm kind of ashamed to show it to you because it has like dust or something on it, but let me get it for a size comparison. So yeah, this did not age well. It has like dust on it, and I'm a little ashamed. But it's the, it's not me being, you know, it's the fact that this material does really attract dust and dirt, and it shows. So just be aware of that, because see, it's still stretchy, still, you know, can do the little light silly tie, still a little squishy. Let me just wipe my hand on my pants, as these are a little squishy, a little bit squishy, stretchy, weird texture. But, you know, I will advise these can get quite dirty. So I don't even know how to tell you to wipe it down, to be honest, because I feel like everything sticks to it. It's not sticky like the other thing that I told you about, but it's like everything shows up on it. It's kind of like how people will, they'll wear black so that stains won't show if they like spill something on themselves, but what they don't realize is that like all the like dust and lint and pollen is going to show up really well on black. So it's kind of a similar concept. It's almost as if this were that black dress that you thought would cover up a stain, but instead it just shows that you sat in pollen. you know, as an example. So it's kind of like that. So I'm just gonna move this big guy out of the way. I'm gonna see if I can redeem him, if I can rescue him. So I'm gonna put him to the side and like try to rescue him later. I'm gonna try to clean him really well, but everything sticks to them. That's the only downside about these. They're really like, what's the word I want to use? Like I said, they're really simple. There's not much to these. Unlike something like this, there's not much to this. Still good, but the boy needs a bath. So I'm gonna put him over here. Okay, and I'm just gonna wipe my hands really good because I don't want any of that dust to get on these guys. And I don't know if you can see it, but this isn't from me. This is sorry, that's a cat here. This isn't from me. This is just from it being on the desk. It's already started collecting dust. That's the thing, like whatever material these are made of, they do that. I might have to clean these guys too. I'm gonna put them up here, or put them somewhere in view. Maybe here. Maybe across there. I don't know. Somewhere. Might have to clean them too. The last thing that came in that packet was this like packet of stickers. These like almost veggie tail looking stickers on one side. They have like space and stuff. There's like a whole pack here. So like I said, the like veggie tail looking one. I actually used to collect stickers as a kid. I don't know, you know, how many people are watching this that don't quite know things about OCD, but one of the things, and this is not necessarily universal, but one of the things that someone with OCD may do is make a lot of lists or count things. A lot of people are familiar with organization, but like it's not necessarily like everything has to be 2 inches to the left. It's like lists, collecting things, counting things. So I used to collect stickers compulsively, and just I hoarded them in this like huge plastic pink clipboard. But they have dinosaurs, more veggie tail looking ones, more space. They may have 2 of each. Oh no. So they have little transportation doodad ones. They all have faces, so they're supposed to be really cute. Some animals, friendly looking animals, instead of realistic. More animals, different animals. Yeah, these stickers are a little cutesy, but I mean, we knew who they were marketing for from the beginning, so are we really surprised? No. More dinos. More transportation. More like aliens in space. So oops. Honestly, if your kid does like stickers, stickers are a good bonding exercise if they just want to like go to town on like a piece of construction paper or something. And I also knew someone who would use them as like a reward when their kid was doing something really good. They would get rewarded a sticker and the kid would be really happy. But yeah, so that's the last thing in the box. That's not the last thing I want to present before this video is over. So the last thing I want to present, or the last 2 things, are the 2 stems that my partner actually made for me very recently, because he's made me some before, like the little cubes. So he made me this. I don't know if you can see, but it's just purple 3D filament. These are a little spiky, but they're pointed, but they're not sharp, if that makes sense. So you could honestly run your fingers over this for texture, but what this is supposed to do is this. So you got the sound going on, you got texture going on, you got motion going on, you got a visual. So I approve. I approve. He has the good judgment. It's probably because he's neurodivergent as well. Not to say that you have bad judgment if you're not. I didn't mean for it to come out that way. I just meant like he can tell what we like because he's one of us. He's been diagnosed with ADHD, but yeah, my diagnosis list is long. It's long and not necessarily pretty. I've been diagnosed with OCD, PTSD, depression, anxiety, so I really love this stuff. It's very very good for me. Let me just kind of like zoom out. so you can see more of it. I say zoom out, but I'm physically moving the camera. And the other one, before I go, was this cute little guy. He made me a little octopus. So it has, you know, the appropriate number of legs. They're all independently moving. Each leg has a segment. It's pretty cool. But each leg has a segment. They all independently move. They're all hooked to the body. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little like hollowed out space inside. It's not necessarily meant for this, but honestly, if you like a texture stim, you could run your finger around the inside because it's pretty smooth. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty smooth. Or around the rim. You just kind of play with the little legs. Little head is smooth. It's shiny. It's very like visually what's the word? Appealing. And there's honestly too much stuff on my work desk to show, but he also makes a good spin top if you spin him around like this on a flat surface. Yeah, I have nowhere to do that. I can do it off camera so you can hear the sound, but I can't show you. Makes a really nice sound, but super cute. You can play with the legs. There's like some touch and texture, and there's a lot going on there. A lot going on with this, and a lot going on with this pack, to be honest. I would honestly give it... It's got some pretty decent stuff in it, to be honest. And it had some stuff that I haven't used before. So I would honestly give it, like... I would say at least a 7 or an 8. The only reason I'm lowering it, I'm not going to give it 10 out of 10, because, well, I do like it. It's mostly just that some of them are very small, but again, that's not their fault. It is marketed for younger people, so that's not their fault. Actually, let me move it up to an 8. I'll move it to an 8. They do give you a lot of things. A lot of them are really soothing, relaxing, good for, you know, stress relief, mindfulness, self-care, anxiety, various things, ADHD, being autistic, being depressed, different things, just calming, soothing. I would also recommend stimming and ASMR to people with PTSD because I've also been diagnosed with that. And it's just very good for soothing some of the things that come with it, the depression, the anxiety, the insomnia, things like that. It's just very good. They're like nervous energy, so it's just very good for all of that. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say 10 out of... Yeah, I'm not gonna give it 10 out of 10 just because there were some things, like the fact that the slinky is messed up, that I didn't quite like. I mean, there's no guarantee that that would happen in every box. It's just the way this box was packaged, the slinky got messed up. I mean, it still does what it's supposed to. It's still a slinky. It's just crooked. And that bothers me. It bothers me, and it bothers me more that I can't fix it. So, that bothers me. That's enough for me to take off a whole point right off the bat. Another, like, quarter to half point is these chickens. Because what am I going to do with these chickens? And there are 3 of them. I feel like they could have substituted a different stim or stims instead of putting these chickens in. They do nothing for me. And I'm not sure how they do something for anyone else. And they're, you know how someone will say, it's so ugly, it's cute? This didn't meet the mark. It's just ugly. But I did enjoy a lot of the other things. I'm not in love with the emoji people, but I honestly think they're hilarious and like kind of cute. So I'm not taking a point off for that, but definitely for the slinky damage, for the inclusion of the chickens, because what is going on here? Otherwise, I think they packaged pretty well. They didn't get the like squishy or sticky stuff melted, at least as far as I can tell. It doesn't look melted, it doesn't look messed up or deformed, because that could be hard, because I told you about the texture. It can feel sticky, it can feel like not quite tacky, but like kind of odd, and it's squishy too, so it has like a weird texture, and you just don't want it to like press up against things too much, and they did a good job of shipping that, oddly enough. So yeah. And again, I can't take deductions for the size because they're marketing it to as young as 3. I mean, something bigger is not going to fit in a 3-year-old's hand. Obviously, they had to make it smaller. That's logical. And I think the other bone I had to pick was that all of these, what is it called? Pentagons are not completely, I don't know if you can see that, but they're not completely painted in. There are a few that aren't completely painted in, or it's like very patchy. But that doesn't necessarily matter because it does what it's supposed to. It's just, it could have been done better, but on the other hand, it does what it's supposed to, so I can't take away too many points for that, you know? Overall, I think it's a pretty decent set, especially coming from, you know, a larger entity like Amazon with various vendors that may not have our best interest at heart. I'm not sure if I would necessarily get another one from them. I'll have to think about it, but it's not a terrible set, especially coming from someone who's not us, who doesn't know what we like from our perspective. Like, for what it is, it's great. Could be better, but for what it is, good. If you are interested in those autistic or neurodivergent run shops, so not necessarily all of them are autistic, but autistic, they may have ADHD, they may be depressed or have anxiety or OCD or PTSD, but the point is, they have a different neurotype, and they're the ones creating the products or selling the products, acquiring them, and, you know, they're either a part of the design or they just, they know what to pick. It's by us, for us, which is why I support it. It's like supporting a local business, kind of, but not exactly. So I'll put those links in the description. I'll try to put them on the end screen as well, because I'm pretty sure I saw a way to do that in the software I have. And I guess I should put a link to this as well, in case anyone actually wants it. You know, just in case. Because if you were interested and you do want it, it's by Hhobby Stars, and I could put a link for that as well. But I'll put a link for this. I will put a link for the other shops. I will put a link for Stimtastic, even though they closed down, just so you can check out their social medias and see what they did and how awesome they were. And that's it. That's the unboxing of 61. The 61 fidget toy set from Hhobby Stars. So if you sat through this whole unboxing and review, thank you so much. If you want to support this channel, please make sure that you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like the video if it wasn't unbearable. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.